morning, everyone. We're starting another week of virtual preschool, and I am so glad you decided to join me for circle time today. So let's figure out what day of the week it is. The last day of school we had was Friday. Yes, so Saturday, Sunday. So today is Monday. Yes, so let's move that rainbow arrow up to Monday. There we go. And who remembers the name of our month? March. Yes, so let's go ahead and count those numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What comes next? 6. And let's see here. So far our pattern is clover, clover, leprechaun, leprechaun, rainbow. What do you think comes next? If you said rainbow, you are correct. So we have 3 pictures in this pattern. We have a number 6 with a rainbow on it. So we need to keep going. That was Saturday. So 5, 6. What number comes next? 7. And so this is our pattern. Clover, clover, leprechaun, leprechaun, rainbow, rainbow. So if we're going to start that over again, what would come next? Clover. Yes, so we have a number 7 with a clover on it. All right, that was Sunday, so we need to do one more. 5, 6, 7. What comes next? 8. Yes, and what do you think the picture is going to be? Yes, it's another clover. So a number 8 with a clover on it. Okay, so let's say the whole date. Today is Monday, March 8th, 2021. All right, so now we need to look out the window to figure out what the weather is at your house. So when you look out the window, does it look partly cloudy, cloudy, sunny, windy, rainy, stormy, or snowy? And if you step out the door to check the temperature, how the temperature feels, does it feel burning hot, hot, warm, cool, cold, or freezing cold? All right, so, and remember to have your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa check their weather app to tell you what the number is that goes with the temperature today. All right, so last week we started talking about colors. Remember we talked about some colors that are super important called primary colors. They were red, yellow, and blue. Well, this week we're going to be talking about another set of colors that are called secondary colors. And secondary colors are made from primary colors. So if you mix red, yellow, and blue together in different ways, you get new colors. And those new colors are called secondary colors. So I have one of my favorite color mixing books to read to you today. And you may have read this book before. Let's see what it's called. So this book is called Mouse Paint. So let's see what happens in this book. It's one of my favorites. Once there were 3 white mice on a white piece of paper. The cat couldn't find them. They were camouflaged, right? Because they were white on white paper. One day, while the cat was asleep, the mice saw 3 jars of paint. 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 blue. So those are the 3 primary colors, right? Super important colors because they mix together to make all the other colors of the rainbow. They thought it was mouse paint. They climbed right in. Then 1 was red, 1 was yellow, and 1 was blue. They dripped puddles of paint onto the paper. The puddles looked like fun. We know puddles of water are fun, right? So probably puddles of paint might be fun too. The red mouse stepped into a yellow puddle and did a little dance. His red feet stirred the yellow puddle until... What's gonna happen? Red and yellow. Look, he cried. Red feet in a yellow puddle make orange. So red and yellow together makes orange, right? So orange is one of our secondary colors. The yellow mouse hopped into a blue puddle. His feet mixed and stirred and stirred and mixed until... See what happens now. Look down, said the red mouse and the blue mouse. Yellow feet in a blue puddle make green. So green is another one of our secondary colors. So yellow and blue makes green. Then the blue mouse jumped into a red puddle. He splashed and mixed and danced until... Purple, they all shouted. Blue feet in a red puddle make purple. Now this isn't a very good purple in this book. Not particularly purplish. It's more bluish, but that's all right. But the paint on their fur got sticky and stiff. Oh, and I forgot to say, so purple, right, is another secondary color. So orange, green, and purple are our secondary colors. So they washed themselves down to a nice soft white. What did they wash themselves down in? The cat's water bowl. That doesn't seem like the best idea if you're a mouse, does it? And painted the paper instead. They painted 1 part red and 1 part yellow. And 1 part blue. They mixed red and yellow to paint an orange part. Orange is one of our secondary colors. Yellow and blue to paint a green part. Green is another one of our secondary colors. And blue and red to paint a purple part that really doesn't look very purple in this book. So purple is also one of our secondary colors. But they left some white because of the cat, right? They wanted to be able to camouflage on the white paper to hide from the cat. All right, so I like that book. So guess what we get to do today? One of the activities in your packet this week is to make your very own mouse paint book. So this is what it looks like. It says My Mouse Paint Book. And we're only going to do the first page today. Really, it's a good idea to only do 1 page at a time, so because you have to let some paint dry. So this is what the first page looks like. All right. So the first colors, let me just double check. I forgot what the first ones were in this book. I like to follow the order of the book. So we had, a red mouse and a yellow puddle. So what we're going to do, push this like this. We're going to mix red and yellow together. So this is a following directions activity, okay? So we're going to put our red, at school I have different color paintbrushes. At home you might not, and that's okay. But I'm going to use a red paintbrush in red paint. I'm going to paint the first mouse red. There's my first mouse. It's painted red. So we're mixing that with yellow, right? So we're going to use a yellow paintbrush and yellow paint. I'm going to paint the next mouse yellow. So red mouse plus yellow mouse. We're going to mix those 2 colors together. So there we go. Then together, we're going to mix them together on here. So you're going to take some yellow paint on your yellow brush, red paint on the red brush, hold them together like this. Oops, just dripped a little bit. And then you're going to mix them together on this other mouse to make our secondary color, which is orange. So red plus yellow equals orange. All right, so we're going to let that dry, okay, until another day or maybe even later in the day, because if you turn the page now to do another color, the pages are going to stick together because the paint is wet. All right, so just do one page at a time in this book. All right, we also have our new March calendar. So we know the first thing we do on here is we write our name. Mika, and then you're going to trace some numbers. If you are 4 or 5, remember, at school I ask you to trace all the numbers. Now I'm not 4 or 5, so I'm going to stop right there. I traced until number 5. All right. Then we need to do our next part, which is the picture on top. So this time we're going to use magic hearts. Remember our magic heart from last month in February? You have 3 green magic hearts in your packet. So you're going to cut them just like we did the magic heart, right? Keep the paper folded. Keep your thumb up. And our 3 magic hearts are going to make something really cool on this. All right, so there's my first magic heart. Let's do my second magic heart. And my third magic heart. All right, so then we are going to use these 3 magic hearts to make a clover on our paper. Okay, because clovers are one of those St. Patrick's Day symbols, and St. Patrick's Day comes in March. So we are going to put our clovers all together here, or our magic hearts all together here. To make our clover. All right, and then you know what? I'm going to use a little piece from my leftover green paper. Oh, here, I'll show you this first. Here's our part of our clover. And I'm going to use just a rectangle piece of paper from our magic heart paper, and I'm going to make that the stem of our clover. So there is our clover for St. Patrick's Day in March. All right? So then the last thing we need to do is put some glue on the top 2 corners of the back of our calendar. And we need to glue it to the paper. And there we have our March calendar. Looks pretty nice. All right, so that is what I have to show you today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see some of you today at 10:30 for small group.